Hello, everybody. Welcome to IGN Overclocked episode. I have no idea. My name is Mitch Dyer. I'm one of your hosts, joined as always by Dan Stapleton.
I'm pretty sure this is episode 14, Mitch.
14? I'm going to write that down because I'm going to forget it.
Yeah, make a note for later.
Yeah.
Nope, just kidding. It's episode 13.
This week, we're also joined by Lewis Leong. Lewis, you have reviewed the Steam hardware for IGN. So we're going to talk a lot about that.
Got it in the studio right here.
Oh my God. Visual displays. Welcome to, if you're on the audio podcast, you're missing out on this riveting, far away view of a controller. Let's start with Steam hardware. Welcome to the show. Tell me about the Steam hardware. I mean, so the Steam Link is the one that stands out the most to me. That's the one I was the most excited about coming into this. Obviously we did some videos on the controller and I played a game of Dota 2 and it was a lot of fun, but maybe not great. So there's a lot of really different cool stuff coming, and it's out now. But Steam Link, how does it work? Is it good? Should I buy one?
So Steam Link, I'm actually pretty impressed with. I gave it a 7.5.
Okay, that's real good.
Yeah.
Well, for a first generation attempt at something anyway, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and for $50, I think it makes a lot of sense. A lot of commenters were saying, "Oh, you could buy a HDMI cable and drag it to your TV," but it's not. It's not.
Yeah, like this is eliminating that inconvenience. And for me, it's like I would rather spend $50 on a Steam Link if I can just shoot it straight to my TV.
And my computer's 2 rooms away.
Yeah, mine too.
A lot of people have houses wired for internet, but not a lot of people have houses wired for HDMI.
Yeah,
good point. Did you play it on Wi-Fi? Like, was there any noticeable latency issues or anything on Wi-Fi versus
I did it on both. So on Wi-Fi, it was actually really good. I have a wireless AC router at my home. And it was pretty flawless. It would stutter like once in a while.
Okay.
AC is really high-end Wi-Fi. Like that's the best out there right now, though. So if you don't have AC, it might be less good.
Yeah, they definitely recommend hardwiring in if that's possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hardwiring in kills the latency. So your inputs will be read like 1-to-1. I used the diagnostic tool while testing out different games, and definitely hardwire in if you don't want to deal with any lag. But realistically, I think a lot of people are going to use the Wi-Fi. So I was happy to see that the Wi-Fi streaming performance was actually really good. It would drop a frame once in a while, and some audio would stutter, but it would happen like twice an hour or something. So it wasn't that.
That's
big of an
super
issue.
reassuring, actually.
Yeah.
So the biggest complaint that I've seen about it is that if something goes wrong, and it's like the software is still fairly early, so it does crash once in a while.
Yeah.
But if something goes wrong, there's no way to fix it from your living room TV. You have to go back to your PC to fix it, which is an annoyance.
It is definitely an annoyance, and an issue that earlier on with the earlier software was really annoying. But Steam released like daily updates for it throughout the month that I was testing it, so it got a lot better, a lot more stable, and I found myself getting up less often to fix stuff. But there are still times, like if you install a game for the first time, sometimes it might ask you to like log into Uplay.
Right.
Let's say if you're playing an Ubisoft game.
So then you got to go back and do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you have to type. So there's no on-screen keyboard, which is a real bummer. I think the NVIDIA Shield TV actually has a better interface regarding that, because you can use the bumper buttons to zoom in and out of your desktop.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can also pull up a virtual keyboard and use your thumbstick to select which characters you want, so you can enter passwords and stuff like that. But Valve hasn't built that into the Steam Link yet, which I think they really should. So expect to walk back to your PC for the first couple of times for installing stuff.
Can you use mouse and keyboard with the Link?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have like a cool living room setup.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you have a lap desk, you could do that no problem.
Okay. But you just plug that in by USB to the device itself.
Yeah. So there's 3 USB 2.0 ports. So your peripherals like mice, keyboard, Xbox controllers, Logitech controllers.
Can you cheat it? Can you throw a hub into that?
I'm not sure. I haven't tried that, but
I mean that's getting like question. That's weird. It already kind of looks like a hub. It's yeah.
I heard you like hubs, Mitch.
I'm a big fan of hubs.
But I'm just curious if a wireless like mouse and keyboard dongle would work with it.
Yeah, it should.
Nice.
Because the Steam controller actually has a wireless dongle that you need to plug into here.
Oh, really? I assumed it was just built into the Steam Link, but okay, that's going to take up one of your USB ports anyway. But all right. But yeah, I'm interested to try it. Like especially. Here's what I've been playing: Fallout.
Yeah, surprise.
It's better on PC in that like it runs at 60 frames a second and it loads real fast if you got an SSD.
And which is good because the load times are frequent and long on consoles.
They are. Although like I didn't hate the really long load times on Xbox One because I had to play it on Xbox One because it showed up first, and by the time we got PC, I was already so invested in the Xbox save I couldn't switch.
The disappointment, like you and I were texting a little bit when you were playing Fallout, and like we were just kind of sharing stories and stuff. Like the disappointment, I could just feel it in your text message when I was like, when we got Steam code, and I was like, oh, like you want mine? You can play, and you're like, Marty, I'm 40 hours in on console. Like, there's no going back right now.
Yep.
You were just so committed that, like, you just had to finish for the review.
There was no way I would have finished it if I had switched. But it's a better experience. But anyway, I didn't so much hate it on console for the long load screens because the tips on the load screens are super useful. And that's almost like a detriment to the PC version.
That's like my favorite thing in Overwatch is like I like dying because I learn about interesting relationships between character skills. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. That's awesome.
Right,
Cool.
but on PC, like my load times are like 5 seconds, so I don't have time to read. Like,
have you
more
considered
than one.
back into it?
Yeah, pretty much.
First world problem.
The best way to kill a death claw.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean and arguably some of that stuff is a little bit spoilery. Like I learned about enemies and weapons that I hadn't encountered yet.
Oh, funny.
Which so I kind of don't mind that it doesn't.
Your plasma guns are gonna need these kinds of cells. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
There are pros and cons to it, but like I've started a new game on PC. I'm probably about 10 hours into it. I started out on survival difficulty.
That's the super high one.
Yeah.
You're
That
a
is
psychopath.
Yeah, like I said, I started out. I did not get very far on survival.
Okay.
I got a little ways, but I was reloading too often to really be fun. So I turned it down to very hard, and there I'm still getting one-shotted by the occasional guy. But it does make you think very very carefully about how you're going to initiate an encounter, and it does make it feel the wasteland feel much more dangerous. The PC performance has been really good for me. I've got a GTX 970 and an i7. It's an older model, but it checks out. It's been running at 60 frames per second. Pretty solid. All I had to do was turn down AA a little bit, and it still looks great at 1080p. And yeah, the performance has been really solid. I haven't even hit any noticeable bugs yet. That's inevitable. Like I will hit something, but
you been playing this at all? Like console or PC at all?
I'm afraid I will lose my life to this game.
Yep.
Because it looks like a 100+ hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played 50, 60 hours of it, and like I'm still finding stuff just right near the starting area that I never saw the first time.
You're replaying right now, right?
Yes.
How far are you now on PC?
About 10 hours.
Okay, so you're still pretty early.
Yeah.
That's cool that you're still finding stuff though.
Well, and like again, that was because because I started out on survival. I haven't gotten as far as I probably would have on normal.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I'm still kind of in that starting area, and like I found like several locations that I just completely missed the first time.
I see so many people complaining about the way this game looks, and I do not understand that criticism at all. And I'm not Fallout 4's biggest fan by any means. Like I think the game has a lot of problems. Art direction is not one of them.
I mean, it's definitely not a technical marvel of photorealistic graphics. It doesn't hold a candle to The Witcher, for example.
No, of course. And I think that individual assets might not look amazing on their own, but like together, I think everything.
Oh yeah.
There's like. It's
kind
not
of still got that old Fallout 3 kind of thing where everybody's kind of like a cardboard statue
they definitely
or
have
whatever.
That.
So I think that's kind of jarring coming from more fluid games like Tomb Raider came out this week. So that's like super graphically impressive and photorealistic.
I can't wait to see what they do with that on PC too. Like they had the silly Tress Effects stuff on Tomb Raider on PC where her hair was doing weird stuff.
Computer.
Yeah, me too. And that's sort of like that is a little bit there in console, so I want to see like what else they do, especially with like underwater effects because you're underwater a lot.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Like I there's no doubt it would be a better game if it looked better and still ran smoothly.
Sure, yeah.
But like it's the old gameplay versus aesthetics argument. Like, do you demand that everything be top notch visually, or are there concessions you can make for a game that does something no other game does? Like there are no other games that are quite like Bethesda big open world RPG.
Yeah.
So that is the standard level of quality for that kind of thing because Bethesda's the only one who makes it, so that is the standard. So I mean, yes, I'm willing to accept some bugs in there and some not great lip syncing and some running animations that don't look quite right because it does so much else right that I'm already so immersed in that world. I don't need the graphics to convince me it's real.
The shooting on consoles felt really good to me. Like for the first time in a Bethesda game, I felt like combat was good. And VATS was obviously really cool in Fallout 3, and I like it in Fallout 4, but I didn't use it a lot because I could rely on myself a lot better than VATS, and I liked that. Is that even more the case on PC?
I was using VATS a lot on console because I am not very good with a gamepad. And even 50 hours of experience later, I'm still not very good with a gamepad. But
you'll get there, Dan. I believe in you.
No, I mean sniping. I snipe a lot more with mouse and keyboard. It should be noted that by default, there's some mouse acceleration enabled, which you should go into the INI and disable, and it's dumb that they didn't have that in the options.
Yeah.
It's dumb that they don't have an FOV slider when you can go into the INI and tweak the INI and fix
is there
that.
even like a console thing you can just bring up and just punch in commands?
I don't know. I was doing it with the INI, so
that's really annoying. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just annoying to have to like tab out and
and it's really weird that they didn't just do that. Because I mean they've got that launcher app that runs before the game launches that has all the settings in it.
Also, I swear to God, I might be wrong, but I swear to God, Skyrim had FOV sliders in.
I don't think
in the game.
I'm pretty sure it didn't have sliders, but it was again something you could easily tweak.
Okay.
So it's a problem that you can easily solve, but you shouldn't have to. It's just kind of a ease of use thing that would have been nice if they would just put that little extra thing in there. But again, once it's solved, it's solved. You don't have to mess with it again. So it's hard to get real mad about it. Just kind of annoyed.
Have you played with the Steam controller yet? Like using it specifically with Fallout?
Nope.
You should give it a try. Since you like giving yourself a hard time.
Yeah. I mean,
I really wonder if it would work for you because like the trackpad stuff is so good.
Well, the thing about it is like I don't play with the controller unless I have to anyway.
Yeah.
So like I would much rather be playing with the mouse and keyboard, and I've got a good setup where I can play comfortably with a mouse and keyboard. So I don't want to, but if I were to borrow your Steam Link and set it up in my living room, I would definitely want to give the Steam controller a shot. Customizing the controls would be a big deal.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really like about the Steam controller is that it's so easy to. It's like, oh, I don't like what this button does. Boom, fixed. And I like the underside buttons
too. The grips,
grip
I think
buttons,
they call them. RG and LG.
Yeah, I like those a lot.
Yeah, they work well.
Yeah.
Especially for a shooter, you can jump around with it while you're aiming.
Yeah,
so.
Jump or crouch and
Yeah, exactly.
I would totally use that for Fallout because like I think I'm already a better shot with that than I am with a 360 or PS4 gamepad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still like if you have the option to use a mouse and keyboard, you're crazy to use a gamepad in a shooter, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so to go on a little bit deeper on the PC version of Fallout's kind of technical limitations that have carried over from Skyrim. People that are running it on high frame rate monitors, so 120 hertz, 140 hertz, are having a lot of problems with it because apparently the simulation aspects of it are tied to the frame rate, which is not a very good way to do things. Yeah, it's apparently an old way of doing things, and the engine has very old roots.
What are they using? Are they still using like their old tech? Or did they move forward?
I mean, they've revamped it a few times. They bought the Gamebryo engine. They bought it and they renovated it and renamed it Creation. And for
what a clever name for a game engine.
Yep. And for Skyrim, they're saying, oh, we got this new engine. It's like, no, it's the same engine. You just upgraded it, and they did upgrade it quite a bit.
Sure.
Going from Oblivion to Skyrim, big difference.
Yes.
But it's still got kind of the underlying technology in there, and that's one thing they never fixed, which is, I mean, it is just the elite enthusiast PC gamers right now who have those high-end monitors and the graphics hardware to drive them, and they are understandably upset when they go to all this effort to get the highest end gaming experience and it's not supported by a game. And like these games are pretty focused on PC overall. I mean, the performance on PC is a lot better for one thing. And it's a huge success on PC as well. I don't know if you saw like in the last couple of days.
That record for Steam concurrent players.
Yeah, it shattered.
Wow.
It shattered. Well, not overall, but it shattered Grand Theft Auto's Grand Theft Auto 5's like 300 and some thousand concurrent players on launch day. They did 475,000 concurrent players.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, and like next to like the only games higher than that are free to play games. So Dota and Team Fortress 2. I guess Counter-Strike is
Counter-Strike's
also
doing well.
But it's not.
It's so weird to me that Counter-Strike shows up on that list.
Yeah, and it's got some hardcore players.
How long till that game is free?
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet Counter-Strike is free next year.
It's not yet. Why would they change that?
They did it with TF2.
Yeah, true.
Skins.
Yeah, like they just, as they add that stuff to the game more and more, it makes more sense to just like, oh, here's Counter-Strike, and you can buy skins and hats and
Exactly.
But according to, I think it's Steam Graph, they come out with kind of estimates of what the total sales numbers are based on concurrence and all kinds of data you can access from the Steam API. Like Valve doesn't make it public how much things sold, but their estimate is 1.2 million copies of Fallout 4 on PC in the first 24 hours, including all pre-orders.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's virtually unheard of on PC.
Yeah,
Like that's nuts.
which is like, think about that, and then that 475 number. Like half these people are playing right now.
Yeah, and that was
what?
that was like at 11 a.m. West Coast time.
It's a work day.
A lot of sick people.
There was a big hit in global productivity that day, and I'm sure that goes on for the rest of this week, and beyond.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think the marketing blitz was crazy for that game, so everybody was super interested. Like the Conan did the Clueless Gamer thing, which was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, there's a lot of awareness about it. Like I've been asked about Fallout by like non-gamers, which is always neat to see.
It's cool. I wonder, have we done this yet? I remember with Skyrim, Destin like found a way to turn off textures or something, and it made it look like a weird Disney game. It looks so cool. Like totally changed the art direction, but it still looked cool. Like I wonder if we can do that.
I bet all the same tricks will work. I mean, because it is the same engine. Like all the same cheat codes work.
Interesting. We should talk to Destin about this.
We're already seeing people like spawning like 50 raiders versus 50 synths and like
seeing who wins.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Man, that's really cool.
This game, on top of being a fantastic game in its own right, it's a platform for future antics.
Yes, and like mods are going to be really cool for this.
And like they're saying they're going to be mods on consoles. It's going to be nothing
very
like,
different. Yeah, like you're not going to have like the weird Spider-Man thing like Skyrim had. Like all that cool stuff is not going to be on consoles.
And beyond like what you'll be able to get in the Steam Workshop mod section, like you'll be able to get good stuff in there, but like without the third-party tools that come out, like it's just, you're not going to be able to have like major UI revamps. You're not going to be able to have any technical fixes they implement that you'll find on Nexus mods.
I wonder if someone will just like rip the code from Skyrim and populate Skyrim into the game as a mod.
I mean, you could basically do that in that there was a project that I forget what it's called, but there was somebody that ported Fallout 3 into Fallout New Vegas.
That's so cool.
And basically link the two worlds together. Like you can jump between the two of them. So it can be done. I don't know if there's a big point in doing it with Skyrim.
No, except that it's weird and you just cross a border and you're like, man, it sure is snowing in these mountains.
You finally can play Skyrim with guns.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the PC will definitely be my platform of choice for Fallout going forward. Absolutely. I actually already handed off my Xbox One copy.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, my save still will sit on my hard drive, but
I'm still stuck. I'm playing Battlefront on consoles now because we got console copies only, and I'm doing the review right now. Review in progress, live on IGN.com now. Please read it, please, please. It's so alone. I'm liking that game a whole lot.
Yep.
I think it's got problems. I think.
Well, you like roughly a third of it.
Yeah, but I think it's like the Battlefield problem, right? Which is like the campaign is so awful that it makes me loathe the game in some ways, but the multiplayer is so good that I love it. So now it's like, well, this is an interesting scoring problem in that 6 of the multiplayer modes are at best like inoffensive and just like, oh, okay, like they've got capture the flag, that's fine, or like really, really bad and just not useful. There's no reason for them to be there. There are a few modes that feel like the hero stuff they have, like Heroes and Villains, where it's you get like Leia, Han, and Luke on a team with some rebel soldiers fighting against Boba Fett, the Emperor, and Vader with a bunch of soldiers, and they just like mash into each other in like tiny maps. It's like this is a prototype idea that someone had of like, yo, what if we just got all the heroes in a match? It's not very fun, but it's a good feature. Add it to the list. And it's like
it's something that like you get a game like that and you're like, oh, I bet it would be great if we did this, and then you do it and it's like, oh, I see why they didn't do that.
Yes, but I think it's stuff like that that makes it stand out, that DICE is acutely aware that people are angry about the lack of a campaign in this game. Which for me, like, I don't care. Like, I'm totally happy to pay $60 for an Uncharted game that's 6 hours long and single player only, and like people have been happy about that for literally decades.
Well, I think it's more a matter of like, hey, it would be great if there were a single player Star Wars shooter out there.
Yeah,
you know, I would really like to play that game.
And I agree, but I just think this is not that game.
Right, and people are mad that it's not that game. They wanted the people that are mad are not the people that.
But it's like being mad at Fallout because you want a multiplayer Fallout game.
And some people are.
That's so. I just don't understand that line of thinking at all.
No, you want a certain thing, and the person who has the rights to that thing are not making the thing that you want. So
yeah,
you're
but
mad.
like if you want pizza, go order a pizza. Don't order a burger.
But anyway.
I really hate using food analogies when doing video game conversations.
I'm hungry, Mitch. Thanks.
I really want a burger, but we're getting pizza. We are literally getting pizza today, and I really want a burger.
But yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is that there is that need has not been filled.
Yeah, and I get that to a certain degree. Like, man, I would like do despicable things for a Republic Commando sequel that we're never gonna get. But yeah, like I'm enjoying Battlefront a whole lot. Aside from, you know, there's like all this dead weight over here. If you focus on like the 3 modes that are really good, and that really doesn't sound like a lot.
I thought wasn't it 4 modes including survival?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was thinking just pure like big scale multiplayer stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so the Supremacy, Walker Assault, Drop Zone, and Survival are all really, really good. And I was really surprised by Survival being as strong as it is. I enjoyed it during our E3 demo, and I enjoyed it, you know, when it was in the beta. But man, like you had, well, I think there were only 5 waves in the beta. There are 15 on every map. There's 4 maps, 1 on each planet, and it's like wave-based co-op stuff, or you can play alone. So if you want a limited single-player experience, like there's that for you. That stuff is really fun because you have like TIE fighters coming in and walkers coming at you, like ATSTs coming at you, dudes with jetpacks and dudes who go invisible, stormtroopers protected by scout troopers. It's a lot to take in. Every wave is different. You play on higher difficulties. It's like really, really challenging. We ended up, Brian Malkowitz, who came to the event, we ended up like hiding inside of turrets just to like recover our health because we were getting wrecked so badly. Yeah, those modes are really good. That is really strong. It's like Battlefield, full of those kind of spectacular wow moments where every time you look at something, there's cool stuff happening near it, like an ATST getting smashed by an A-Wing as Luke Skywalker leaps over and Boba Fett's flying through the air, and like that stuff is so cool.
Yeah, it seems to me like a shooter. I just played some of the beta and I played some of D3, but it seems like a not overly complex first-person shooter. Yeah. That just has this really amazing coat of Star Wars like slathered all over it.
Which makes me wonder, like, if you're not a Star Wars fan, like really, really a Star Wars fan, are you going to care about this game?
I think much less. I don't know why you would really. I mean, so much of it seems to be focused on delivering a Star Wars experience. Whether that experience is super deep or not, they don't seem to be all that concerned. But they do really want to make you feel like you are in Star Wars, and I think they do a great job of that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I'm not like a fan of the military or anything, but I enjoy Battlefield because of the systems and the sandbox and the things you can do.
Right, but you like that theme to some. You don't dislike that theme. You're not indifferent to the theme.
I think it's a good vehicle for everything else.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a shooter,
Yep.
And I think if you're not a super big Star Wars fan, I think you can at least get something out of the idea of I'm flying a ship.
Yep.
There's a walking tank.
Yep.
There are guys with cool laser guns. Like, there's enough there that I think you can latch onto and have a good time with the tools.
I'm sure, like most people who play Battlefront will have a pretty good time with it. It's just whether you love it or not is going to have a great deal to do with how much you value that Star Wars atmosphere.
Maybe it'll bring new people who haven't seen Star Wars into that universe, right? We're not even like seen every Star Wars. Like the original 3.
Yeah.
My girlfriend still hasn't seen it. So,
wow.
Yeah, I got to change that.
Battlefront will be the vessel by which
yeah,
she
exactly.
comes on board.
Play the shooter and maybe you'll like the lore. So, does it stand on its own as a shooter, or is there something deeper that differentiates
I think so. I think a lot of people had concerns during the beta that like, oh, the shooting doesn't feel good and all the guns feel the same, and I completely disagree now. I think during the beta there was definitely some issues where like fire rates were mostly similar with a lot of the guns, and I think that's why people felt that way, because if you don't offset that with damage variables and range and things like that, then you end up having weapons that, kind of feel the same. Now there are weapons that are like, there's literally a shotgun, which is cool and weird and different. And I've never seen one, but it looks like a cool Star Wars blunderbuss, like a one-handed shotgun. Awesome. It's awesome.
It blows my mind that they didn't make the Stormtrooper rifle like wildly inaccurate.
I see, and I kind of think they did. Like, the default stock Stormtrooper rifle sucks. It's really bad. But you get a new one by like the level 3, so it's like the accuracy.
Like an inside joke.
Yeah, but it's not like you and I were discussing, which is like, what if like 1 in every 3 shots just like missed? Like it just, there was a die roll and it didn't make contact at all.
I just want it to be like a widespread, like a high rate of fire, widespread.
Right, and I mean there are guns like that encourage like short burst, like you would for like an SMG or something like that, like a mid-range gun that does require that.
You were saying that, and this is going back to the beta, that you preferred playing it on PC.
Yes.
And what do you think is the main strength of it on PC? Because it does look fantastic on PS4.
Absolutely. Yes.
Really kind of surprised at how good it looks on PS4.
It's minor details. On PS4, there's a little bit of like aliasing where like you look at a bush and it's like, oh, like I can see the jagged edges on it, and like the light coming through tree lines on Endor are sort of static, and they just don't have like that wow factor, just to fall back on that stupid phrase again. But like it is so much more impressive on PC to see that level of detail, like that commitment to the authenticity of replicating Star Wars that they do so well, just a little bit better. Like it just makes it stand out as like, oh, like like a little difference goes a long way when you're looking at something that is definitely Star Wars. And then, like we talked about before, like it comes into like being able to customize your field of view, like your vertical field of view and your frame rate and things like that.
Yeah, and it is still a bummer that they don't have a server browser, but yeah.
Yeah, I think their matchmaking is really good though, at least so far. I mean, the game isn't out, so we're working with pre-release stuff, but like it's on EA Access, so on Xbox One, like matches load really quickly. There are a lot of people playing already, which bodes well. I think that this game will clean up, obviously, but on PC, I think there's room for it to do really well. It's just so dumb that you can only buy it on Origin.
Yeah.
Or you can only use it on Origin, rather.
You can buy it in a store, but I mean,
sure. But then you have to go through Origin to redeem it.
Yeah, just like a Steam game. And to be fair, Origin has gotten a lot better. It's no longer the huge pain in the ass it once was. And Steam went through the same thing. Steam was terrible when it launched. Origin, I think, was terrible for longer. But it's gotten
definitely better now.
It's no longer a active hindrance to me playing games.
It has overtaken Uplay. It is.
Oh yeah, Uplay is still
awful.
in
a nice second place.
Yeah. We should talk briefly about the other Star thing out this week, which I've been playing. I was playing some last night. StarCraft 2: Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
Came out on Tuesday. We didn't get access to it at all before release. So
I was so excited. I got my code and I redeemed it, and I went to play. And it was unavailable.
Yep.
Like, no, this is torture.
So we are working on that review. Rob Zachney is doing it for me.
Nice.
He is a
love that man.
Yeah, he knows his esport strategy games.
He's the guy to do it.
So he's working on that. Having foot surgery though, so might be a little bit later than we like. But
you don't need your feet.
Poor
to play
Rob.
StarCraft.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It's like you don't need that.
Bring your laptop to the recovery room, Zachney. Get it together.
But yeah, so he's working on that for next week. But yeah, I was playing some of the campaign last night and the night before. I'm like to kind of extend the life of it a little bit more. I'm playing through the first time on hard, which I think is a good way to experience an RTS game if you're an RTS. If you know RTSs.
Yeah, well, especially that one because they add objectives. There are new objectives on higher difficulties.
I haven't seen a whole lot.
Really? Wings of Liberty was really good about that.
They do have them, but I haven't seen beat this level on hard yet. Oh. I've been playing through on hard and getting the thing. Oh, you beat this on normal, or you did this on normal. It's like normal or higher. It's like, well, I've seen objectives where it's like, oh, do this on normal, and it's like, well, I could totally do that on normal on hard. That's not happening.
Yeah, because I remember, I think it was do it in do X mission in Y minutes, or capture another group of people.
Yep, they still have all that stuff in there, and that's cool. I'm liking it because it's StarCraft, and StarCraft is great.
You're playing campaign.
Yeah, I'm a little bit less impressed by the mission design that I had hoped. Just that it's not as wildly creative and inventive as Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm were.
Is it that it's not as inventive, or that mission design isn't aging well?
No, I mean the mission design. I mean mission designs in those previous games, like pretty much every mission had its own unique gimmick that almost like a mini game based on on an RTS.
I mean, I asked that question knowing that I disagree because I think Warcraft 3 mission design is still terrific.
Yeah,
and
I mean
StarCraft borrows a lot from that.
You can do a lot, with RTS mission design that's creative, and this does do some stuff. I mean, it's got support, like orbital support abilities are the big thing. So you've got this ship in orbit that you can use to bombard or buff your soldiers. I've only unlocked a few of those things now, and it does the same thing where you can use one of two variants on your familiar Protoss units. It's not like this. The support abilities are not enough of a distinct change to really be like, hey, this is a crazy new spin on RTS.
Well, because at that point it's less about like the hero gameplay and more about the abilities that you have outside that hero.
Right. Well, there are no heroes in the campaign so far.
Right, because you're playing as Artanis on the ship technically.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you're not Artanis in the field like you were with Raynor or Kerrigan.
Yeah. Like the Heart of the Swarm campaign was all about you've got a hero character on the map.
Yeah,
and here are a bunch of spins on that idea.
Whereas the Protoss are like a hive mind, so why would there be an individual that's unique?
Although part of the story is, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
but
where's Zeratul?
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, now I figured that would be it.
But so there's a prelude campaign you can play as Zeratul.
Yeah, that was the thing they released ahead of time, right? The
yes.
prologue chapters. Okay, I never finished those.
Yeah.
Are those? So I didn't play those because I didn't want to have to replay them when StarCraft came out. Mm-hmm. Should I still play them?
Yeah.
Now that it's out, are they worth playing?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it doesn't have any of that same stuff I was just talking about with the things that make Legacy of the Void kind of unique. It doesn't have the support abilities, doesn't have the new variants. But so the missions I've been playing so far have been kind of the same, like defend your base while going out to destroy an objective.
Yeah.
I just did one last night where it was waves of units coming at your base, and you've got from four sides, and you've got to defend all four at once for as long as you can. That was real hard on hard mode. That was real hard. Probably took me like 6 tries to beat it.
You StarCraft guy, Lewis?
No, I always get wrecked in real-time strategy.
Yeah, even in campaigns? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like that one was actually, especially on hard mode, was a really good kind of test of your multitasking skills, which mine, as it turns out,
What's
are
your
not
APM?
great.
What's your APM?
Real bad.
Mine too. 4.
But yeah, it's so to reiterate, it's like really well done, kind of uninspired mission design. And there could be more stuff later. I'm like 6 or 7 missions in. And these campaigns are usually like 30. So I'm sure it will. I'm sure they'll have some standouts. Just early impressions, like, well, I wish they had done something a little bit more standout early on.
I wonder if they obviously know the game they're making, but I wonder if looking at that and looking at their mission design and how like the absence of a hero on the battlefield is why they were like, ugh, like this isn't great compared to what we've done before. We need a hero on the battlefield. Let's do this Nova expansion that they announced at BlizzCon, right? Like the Nova secret op thing.
I don't know. I don't think RTS design needs a hero on the battlefield.
I totally agree. I just think that is what StarCraft's thing has been, and that's why StarCraft 2 has been so great.
It wasn't really in Wings of Liberty. Like they had a few hero missions, but it wasn't built around that.
I feel like most of them had Raynor on the field.
Nope.
Or Tychus.
Nope.
I'm just remembering it.
As either that or I am, but I'm pretty sure there were a minority of missions where you had a hero unit.
Yeah, I guess it just compensated with like really great mission design.
Yeah,
and cool like environmental effects that affected like where you could go and how you got around and things.
Yeah,
like that.
I've seen nothing like the lava rising and falling
exactly
mission.
What I was thinking.
I've seen nothing like
it was so good.
I've seen nothing like the day-night cycle
with
mission.
the zombie thing.
Yeah, like that. Those, and I've seen nothing like the space mission. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a space mission in this game, but
I mean it's about the last fleet. You're gonna have a good space battle, I think.
Yeah, so it feels like there's a lot of things for them to do. I just hope they actually do it.
Okay, God, like I'm gonna play it finally. Like I'm gonna go back and finish Heart of the Swarm. I'm gonna go finish Legacy of the Void because I just want to know that story and then I want to move on because I really want those Nova missions.
Yeah.
Like I'm still butthurt that we never got StarCraft Ghost. And now it's like, all right, cool. Nova has always deserved her own game. She's been so cool.
The story is not something I'm super excited about. Like any time where the story is like there is an ancient prophecy that
Yeah.
it's like, oh, shut
I'm
up,
just
shut up with the
I'm
prophecies.
a sucker for Protoss, though. I've always like this is the campaign I've wanted for however long StarCraft 2's existed, like 5-6 years, whatever it's been.
Out in 2010, I think.
Yeah, and in like very early on in Wings of Liberty, like you see, like Zeratul shows you something, and it's like this is the Protoss future, and it's like, oh man, that's a Legacy of the Void tease. I'm super excited, and I had to wait.
Yeah, there is something a little bit magical about seeing all 3 factions on the campaign select screen again.
Finally, it
Yep.
only took however many years, and then we'll just throw a little Nova in the corner.
Yep.
And then whoever else, I don't know, they're going to do more of that stuff too. I'm glad that StarCraft 2 isn't ending with Legacy of the Void. Like, the big story is, but then they're going to do Nova missions, and they're going to do other expansions.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's a community playing it, I don't know why they would stop.
Yeah, well, especially, like, their esports are dying. So, and they want people to play StarCraft, so campaign's probably the way to go.
Yep.
Cool. Should we get out of here?
I think so. I think that was a good show.
Lewis, what are you working on? What do you want to promote?
I'm
Your reviews
gonna
for stuff?
review the iPad Pro.
Nice.
Soon, so
That's
we're gonna get that in the
the
office.
huge one.
The huge iPad. So.
That's got a $100 stick.
$100 pencil that you plug into it.
I will
Great.
sell you this pen for $80.
I'll give you this pen for $70.
Sold.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah,
keep
look
an eye out
forward
for
to
that.
that.
Cool. And your Steam reviews are how much?
Yep.
How much Steam hardware content do we have? Like how many reviews? Controller.
So we have the controller, we have the
Link.
link, and then
How
I'm
many
gonna have an
machines?
op-ed.
Okay.
Well, the machines are basically
It's a
the
PC.
same
Yeah.
across the only difference is the form factor. So
Sure.
you're either gonna like it visually or not, visually and the size of it.
Okay,
so
cool.
physically. So
But you have an op-ed.
Yeah, so we have an op-ed. I have an op-ed about why Steam machines are kind of destined to fail out the door. So look out for that.
And what am I doing? I guess I've got.
Are you free and clear from Fallout now?
No, well, I mean, sort of. I mean, I don't think anyone is ever really free and clear of Fallout, Mitch.
It still has you hostage.
Yeah, I'm taking a break to play StarCraft, but I'm going back to Fallout after that.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to Just Cause. I think that's my next significant review. that I'll be doing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I love blowing stuff up.
Yeah, me
Love
too.
it.
That game. I don't know. Like I liked it when I saw it. I'm just not excited for it at all, and I don't know why.
You just don't like blowing things up like
I
I
just
do.
really hate fun. Not a fan.
But yeah, so that'll be my next big project.
Cool. And obviously, I've got Star Wars Battlefront going on. Review in progress live on IGN. Full review probably Tuesday, the day it comes out. We'll have a score and final video review and all that good stuff.
Hopefully it works. Fingers crossed.
Hardline went well.
Yeah.
Hardline went well.
Yep.
Fingers crossed for Battlefront. Cool. We'll be back next week with even more. We'll have a maybe a little deeper discussion with Battlefront. I'm gonna get an email set up. I swear to God, so people can email us questions and we can read letters on the show. I swear it's gonna happen. Keep tweeting at me. Keep reminding me. Yeah, and we'll see you next week.